So if you're ready, please all rise, please, for the national anthem. The national anthem. The national anthem, please. Service anthem, and it needs to follow immediately. Please, if you have that one on cue, can we please be upstanding for a second time? I'm still so we can take the civil service anthem, please. Civil service anthem. The civil service anthem. The lyrics are on display. If there's one that can take us through this, you never can tell. There could be a promotion for you from the head of civil service of the Federation. If anyone can take us through this. Please, can you take it from the beginning? Take that from the beginning. Take it afresh, please. Give it some volume.
There were obstacles and there were hurdles that we had to face. There were challenges and there were struggles that we had to brace. Now there's a sound of change that is coming, a journey towards a transforming and rebuilding a system that will stand the test of time. Yes, we're building a system that will stand the test of time.
Efficient, productive, incorruptible, citizen-centered and epic culture.
This is the Federal Civil Service. Our mission is clear as day. This is a call for transformation. This is a vision for change. A citizen-centered epic culture. Join us to move Nigeria forward. This is the Federal Civil Service. We are marching to greatness.
Creating new possibilities, rebuilding capacity. Serving the people with excellence and honesty. Where there's a drive, where there's inspiration, partnership and innovation.
Yes, we're building a system that will stand the test of time.
Oh,
Yes, we're building a system that will stand the test of time.
oh,
This is the Federal Civil Service. Our mission is clear as day. This is a call for transformation. This is a vision for change. A citizen-centered epic culture. Join us to move Nigeria forward. This is the Federal Civil Service. We are marching to greatness. Marching to greatness.
where technology meets innovation for sustainability. Civil servants rewarded for excellence and creativity. Yes, a strong civil service means hope for our country.
This is the Federal Civil Service. Our mission is clear as day.
This is a call for transformation. This is a vision for change. A citizen-centered epic culture.
Join us to move Nigeria forward. This is the Federal Civil Service. We are marching to
Marching to greatness. Marching to
Greatness. Can you please put your hands together for the... Thank you very much. This anthem of the Federal Civil Service was reintroduced by the head of Civil Service of the Federation upon assumption of duty in August 2024 to reignite the epic culture in the civil service, E for efficient, P for productive, I for incorruptible, and C for citizen-centered civil service. And together, we're all marching to greatness. Please put your hands together again for the head of the Civil Service of the Federation, who doubles as our chief convener tonight. Can we have some quiet? We'd like to get this event underway in earnest by having to establish the protocol. We'll try to be as concise as we can be. We also must understand, for brevity of time, that when you are given the leverage to come on this podium to deliver a remark of goodwill, we will want to plead with you to please lean on the already established protocol, except for the special guest of honor and the chief convener of this program. But just before we make progress, permit me to recognize very quickly the presence of Mrs. Beatrice Ejojame Jediagba MNI, the Permanent Secretary of Ministry of Justice. We'd like to welcome you, ma. And Solicitor General of the Federation. We'd like to welcome you, ma. I recognize your presence, Dr. Anuma Nila Ogbonnaya, Permanent Secretary, Police Affairs. We'd like to welcome you as well. We'll keep the recognitions at bay, and we there want to establish the protocol. The distinguished guest of honor, Your Excellency, Senator Dr. George Akume CON, the Secretary to Government of the Federation. Distinguished Senate Committee Chairman on Establishment and Public Service Matters, being expected, distinguished Senator Cyril Fasuri, his counterpart from the House of Representatives, the House Committee Chairman on Public Service Matters, Honorable Dr. Engineer Sani Umar Bala, our very dear chief convener of this program, forward-looking, quintessential head of the Civil Service of the Federation, Mrs. Didi Esther Wilson Jack, OON, MNI. Honorable ministers of the various ministries and ministers of states that are here present, the host permanent secretaries, Mr. Abdul Karim Ibrahim Ozi, and your colleague, Permanent Secretary, Special Duties Office, Office of the Head of Civil Service of the Federation, and other permanent secretaries from the Office of the Head of Civil Service. Dr. Abdul S.U. Garba, Permanent Secretary, Service Welfare Office, Office of the Head of Civil Service. Permanent Secretaries from the Office of the Secretary to Government of the Federation and all the permanent secretaries present at this occasion. Your Excellencies, members of the diplomatic community that are here, led by the Kenyan High Commissioner to Nigeria, Your Excellency Ambassador Isaac Parashina, heads of departments and agencies of government here present, our development partners, distinguished captains and icons of industry, invited guests, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, members of the fourth estate of the realm. Your Excellency, our special guest of honor and distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Today we're gathered here for a truly historic milestone, a groundbreaking initiative of the Office of the Indefatigable Head of the Civil Service of the Federation, under the purpose-driven leadership and of the quintessential stateswoman, Mrs. D.D. Esther Wilson Jack, OON, MNI, the head of Civil Service of the Federation, as a host the Nigerian Civil Service Paperless Gala Gala Night and Awards here at this prestigious auditorium of the Continental Hotel. Tonight, a truly remarkable event, and it does mark a turning point and a moment when the Nigerian Civil Service confidently transitions from an analog paper dependent system to a system that is efficient and digital driven for the future. It is also about doing government business a lot faster, smarter, and even better, cutting through the cutting edge of recent times, the 21st century. Beyond efficiency and cost savings that these events that we're gathered for will achieve for the government, it is also a bold step that reflects our collective responsibility to environmental sustenance. By embracing a paperless culture, the civil service is conserving trees, reducing carbon emissions, and advancing a more sustainable and climate-conscious system of governance, where innovation, if you ask my candid opinion, goes hand in hand with responsibility. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the high point and the climax of this evening's event will be the presentation of awards of excellence to ministries and extra-ministerial departments and agencies that have distinguished themselves by going live with digitization and fully embracing a paperless mode of operation. These awards tonight, it's aimed at celebrating leadership, innovation, and the courage for the paradigm shift from old ways in favor of smarter and more efficient systems. These awards also set the benchmark for others to follow and encouraging competition amongst MDAs. And that also affirms that digital transformation is no longer optional, but imperative. Tonight, Your Excellency, our very distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we'll be celebrating tonight as we celebrate excellence, and tonight we also celebrate a Nigerian civil service that is modern, efficient, environmentally responsible, globally relevant, and future ready. It is on this note that I'd like to welcome all of you formally to this very groundbreaking event. But in all this, it is also pertinent to mention that the heart of this transformation, the enterprise content management system, the digital backbone of a reimagined civil service, is actually what we ride on its crest. And through the ECMS, records are secured, institutional memory is preserved, transparency is strengthened, and public service delivery becomes even more responsive, accountable, robust, and future ready. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, behind this very laudable initiative is a woman of substance, a colossus, as I prefer to call her, digitally driven and conscious of the future. I'd like that we celebrate the initiator of this very laudable program, the head of civil service of the Federation, Mrs. Didi Esther Wilson Jack, OON-MNI. If that applause were for her, I think it should come even louder. And today we are equally blessed with the esteemed presence of a juggernaut, a politician, a mentor, a teacher of teachers, a civil servant par excellence, and one who has left indelible marks in the sands of time wherever he has featured. The Secretary to Government of the Federation, His Excellency, Distinguished Senator George Akume, CON. If you intend to make that an applause, can we make it louder for him? Thank you, and thank you very much indeed, our special guest of honor. And that actually is a tone setter for tonight. But to set the tone even further, it will be my pleasure to invite to the rostrum the Permanent Secretary, Service Welfare Office, who doubles as a co-chairman organizing committee for this laudable event, Dr. Abdul S.U. Garba, to please approach the podium for his welcome remarks. Can we please welcome him with a resounding applause, and it can come even better than that from his colleagues and the rest of us that are in the hall. Thank you very much. You're welcome, sir.
The special guests of honor, the Secretary to the Federal Government of the Federation, honorable ministers present here, our leader, the visionary and digital reformist, the head of civil service of the Federation, our esteemed stakeholders, invited guests, ladies, members of the press, ladies and gentlemen. It is my honor, with a deep sense of responsibility, to welcome you all to this landmark occasion, the Paperless Civil Service Gala and Award Night. Today we celebrate a digital milestone and a statement of intent. This is a testament to how far the Federal Civil Service have come in reimaging itself as a modern, efficient, and citizen-centered institution that is responsive to the demands of our time and bold enough to embrace change. I'm particularly proud that the transformation placed people at its core. Digital reform is not just merely about technology, it's about improving work-life efficiency, productivity, and saving institutional memory, and creating a service where productivity, transparency, and welfare mutually reinforce one another. This milestone aligns squarely with the Federal Civil Service align itself with the Federal Civil Service Strategy Implementation Plan, FCIP 25, and it reflects the strong leadership of our passionate leader, the head of civil service of the Federation, Mrs. Ndidi Esther Wilson Jack, OON-MNI, for turning this vision into a memorable outcome today. This evening we honor excellence, we recognize institutions and stakeholders who dare to lead and who embrace innovation despite complexity. We also demonstrated that reform is possible where commitment meets clarity of purpose. To our distinguished guests and partners, your presence affirms the importance of the collaboration in the public sector. To our award winners, today belongs to you. And to every civil servant watching this journey unfold, it is a moment to inspire renew confidence in our collective ability to build a future civil service. As we celebrate today, let's also recommit ourselves to safeguarding the momentum by strengthening the digital culture, protecting staff welfare at the age of innovation, and ensuring that technology continue to serve humanity and replace it. Once again, I warmly welcome you all and thank you for being part of this historic occasion. I also wish us a memorable evening of celebration, reflection, and also share pride in service as we are transforming this together. Thank you and welcome.
Thank you, sir. And because we all do not know the value that comes with clapping, not very many of us have clapped. I'll share a moment with you. Thank you. My bosses that are familiar with me already know the import of clapping, so at intervals, they can't hesitate but clap. As a result of a research that was done by the University of Philadelphia in the United States, November 2014, that says people who clap vigorously when it's important to clap, they live longer, healthier, youthful, wrinkles-free, visit doctors less, and in turn, clapping helps to rejuvenate the internal organs in a human body. Please imbibe the culture of clapping, and thank you very much indeed. Our special guest of honor, for brevity of time, would like to invite at this juncture for a few goodwill messages, and in this order, would like to start by inviting the Managing Director and CEO of Galaxy Blackbone. Very distinguished Galaxy Backbone, I beg your pardon. Please join me in welcoming Professor Ibrahim Adeyonju. And I've been told to please just take 3 minutes for your goodwill message. And if it's less, the better for us all, so we can move on with this process a lot faster. Thank you very much.
Thank you. The special guest of honor, the Secretary to the Government, and the Chairman, Galaxy Backbone Board of Directors, Senator Dr. George Akume, the Chief Host of today's event, and the Head of Civil Service of the Federation, Mrs. Didi Esther Austin Jack, other National Assembly members here present, Honorable Ministers, Transformational Permanent Secretaries, Directors, Diplomats, Development Partners, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. It is with immense pride and this deep sense of national purpose that I extend our warm goodwill and heartfelt congratulations to the Head of the Civil Service of the Federation on the successful hosting of this Paperless Civil Service Gala and Award Night. Tonight is more than a celebration. It's a powerful moment of reflection on how far we have come as a civil service, and I'll say indeed as a public service, and a confident statement of where we are heading as a nation. The transition towards a paperless civil service marks a defining milestone in Nigeria's digital transformation journey, one that places efficiency, transparency, and service excellence at the heart of governance. This year has truly been remarkable under the visionary leadership of our Head of Service. We have witnessed renewed momentum, clarity of purpose, and strong institutional drive towards the digitalization of ministries, departments, and agencies. Our leadership has not only provided direction, but has inspired confidence, ownership, and collective action across the entire civil and public service. I think she deserves a round of applause, please. I also wish to commend our partners, the Transformational Permanent Secretaries, directors, and dedicated staff across the MDAs who have embraced the paperless mandate with courage and resolve. Change is never easy, but your willingness to reimagine processes, adopt new systems, and champion digital workflows has delivered tangible progress. Today, almost all MDAs have either commenced or are actively transitioning their operations through the GBB One Government Cloud solution, laying a solid foundation for a smarter and more responsive public service. At Galaxy Backbone, we are proud to be a strategic partner in this journey, supporting the Office of the Head of Service to enable secure, scalable, and efficient digital infrastructure remains central to our mandate. We reaffirm our commitment alongside our partners to continue working tirelessly to ensure that MDAs achieve full digitization and unlock the true benefits of a paperless government. Permit me to state that this transformation aligns squarely with the renewed hope agenda of His Excellency Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, which places digital governance, institutional efficiency, and service delivery at the core of national development. A paperless civil service is not just a technology shift, it's a critical enabler of accountability, innovation, and inclusive growth. As we celebrate tonight, let us look forward to with optimism and shared responsibility. The progress made so far demonstrates what is possible when leadership, policy, and technology work together in the service of the nation. Once again, I want to say congratulations to all the award recipients, to the entire civil service, and especially to the head of the Civil Service of the Federation for championing this historic transformation. Ma'am, Galaxy Backbone remains steadfast in its mission to power a fully digital, resilient, and future-ready Nigerian public sector. God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Congratulations to all.
Perhaps you do also don't know that your family are watching, because we are live on the network of the largest television network in Africa, the Nigerian Television Authority. Please put your hands together for NTA, as well as the head of Civil Service of the Federation. But I've also just said that so that you know that your children and your wives are watching you right now. And so please, the applause you give indicates and it shows to them at home that you're excited to be part of this success story. Can we please give it up one more time for the convener of this program? Thank you, and thank you very much indeed. Our goodwill messages will not exceed 3 minutes, and I'll be timing every individual that I'll be giving the privilege to come up here. But we have these airport. Please, if you've misplaced yours, please approach the master of ceremony afterwards and get it. The next goodwill, Your Excellency, our special guest of honor, will be coming from Ike Imokwede Foundation. I don't know if we have the head of Ike Imokwede Foundation here with us, except he missed her flight. If we do not have, we'll move on to the very next person, and that is the country. Oh, fine, you made it. Thank you very much. Please, let's welcome Ike Imokwede Foundation's head of programs, Chioma Njoku. We welcome you.
Your Excellency, the Secretary to the Governor of the Federation, Your Excellency, the Head of the Civil Service of the Federation, permit me to align with the well-established protocol by the MC. Good evening. I bring warm greetings and goodwill from Ike Ganofowe Ike Imokwede, the Chairman and EVC of the Foundation. And I thank the Office of the Head of the Civil Service of the Federation for the honor of this invitation. This evening to us marks a significant milestone in reform journey of Nigeria's federal civil service. The transition towards paperless work processes across ministries and extra ministerial agencies and departments is not merely a technological upgrade. It is a statement of intent towards efficiency, transparency, institutional memory, and service delivery that meets the expectations of our modern society. we commend the head of the Civil Service of the Federation and the entire OHCSF for the clarity of vision and leadership reflected in the Federal Civil Service Strategy and Implementation Plan 25, and for translating that strategy into measurable action across the system. The recognition of outstanding MDAs, teams, and stakeholders tonight is especially important. Digital transformation succeeds because of not tools alone, but the people and public servants who are willing to adapt, to lead change, and to uphold excellence and meet complex contexts. At the foundation, we believe strongly that a digitally enabled, skilled, and values-oriented public service is central to national development. We remain committed to supporting initiatives that strengthen the public sector leadership, systems reform, and capabilities required to sustain this transformation. Once again, we congratulate the award recipients, commend the OHCSF on this landmark achievement, and wish the Federal Civil Service continued progress as we work together to build a more efficient, responsive, and future-ready institution. Thank you, and please accept our best regards.
I must say that was quite businesslike from Chairman Joko standing in for Ig Immokative Foundation. Please, another resounding applause for them. Thank you very much indeed. With all that the persons that have been invited here have had to say about this event, about the success story, about the journey so far with the Federal Civil Service of the Federation, I must say that posterity and history will be very kind to Mrs. Didi Esther Wells and Jack when the story of the modern Civil Service of the Federation is written. I think he deserves a round of applause for this very wonderful one. Ma'am, we're so glad to be associated with you. And to speak, before then, let me recognize the head of service, FCT Abuja, Mrs. Nancy Nathan, representing the Honorable Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, our landlord, Chief Barrister Nyesom Ezenwa Wike, GSSRSCON. Can we please put our hands together to welcome her? Thank you so very much, ma'am, for joining us this evening in his stead. I quickly want to then invite the next speaker, and our next speaker with a goodwill message will be the Kenyan High Commissioner to Nigeria, His Excellency Ambassador Isaac Parashina. Asante Sana. Please can we welcome him with a resounding applause as well. Your Excellency, sir.
The Secretary to the Government of the Federation, it's a digital day, paperless, so I'm trying to manage. The chief host and the head of the Civil Service of the Federation, Ms. Didi Esther Watson Jackson, OON, MNI, the Minister of Livestock, and allow me to stand on the existing protocols. It is a distinct honor and privilege to join you this evening at the Paperless Civil Service Gala and Awards Night, an occasion that celebrates innovation, excellence, reform within the Nigerian civil service. Tonight, as we celebrate the collective progress towards a more efficient, transparent, and a citizen-centered civil service, we are reminded that modern governance demands institutions that are responsive, agile, and result-driven. This imperative has placed a digital transformation at the heart of effective public service delivery worldwide. In this regard, I commend the federal government of Nigeria under the leadership of His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, and in particular the head of civil service of the Federation for the foresight and leadership demonstrated in advancing a paperless and digitally enabled civil service. This initiative reflects a clear commitment to institutional renewal and accountable governance. Kenya's experience underscores the transformative impact of digital government. Through eCitizen platform, Kenya has consolidated over 22,500 services across more than 545 government agencies, significantly reducing bureaucracy while improving efficiency, transparency, and access for citizens. The integration of secure digital payment systems, including mobile money and banking platform, has been a key enabler, accelerating services uptake, strengthening revenue collection, and delivering substantial time and cost saving. In addition, Kenya is implementing a fully digital electronic government procurement system, now mandatory for public entities to enhance efficiency and integrity in public procurement. Kenya and Nigeria, as leading African economies and innovation hubs, are well placed to remain at the forefront of digital governance on the continent. Our shared experience affirms that digital transformation is not merely technological, but a governance reform that places citizens at the center of public service. I reaffirm Kenya's readiness to collaborate with Nigeria in advancing digital public infrastructure, sharing best practices, and deepening institutional cooperation. I congratulate the chief hosts once again and the organizers, that's the entire public civil service of Nigeria, and the award recipients for championing excellence within the Nigerian civil service. And I wish you a most successful and a memorable evening. Asanteni sana, nagode, thank you.
I like that. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. I like the fact that he's learning very fast and can still say nagode. Thank you. Please give him a round of applause one more time. Thank you very much indeed. Your Excellencies, our very distinguished ministers that are here, I also have it on good authority that the Honorable Minister of Budget and Economic Planning, former Governor of Kebbi State, a Senator of the Federal Republic, is being represented here by the Permanent Secretary, Budget and Economic Planning, Dr. Deborah Oyindamola Nima Odo. Please, a warm round of applause for her. Thank you so very much. And thank you for joining us. Is representing Senator Atiku Bagudu, CON. We also have the privilege of having Dr. Mariam Ismaila Keshinro, the Honorable Permanent Secretary, Youth Development, here with us this evening. Please, a warm round of applause for her. Mr. Philip Eboge Ndiomo is the Permanent Secretary, Innovation, Science and Technology, is also here with us. Please, a warm round of applause for Philip Ndiomo. Chinasa Nam Obodo is a Permanent Secretary, Information and National Orientation. Would like to welcome you. The Accountant General of the Federation, very distinguished ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Shamseldeen Babatunde Ogunjimi, just joining us. Please, can we welcome him with a resounding applause? Thank you so very much for joining us this evening. As I also recognize the presence of Mrs. Patience Nwakuso Oyekunle, Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Petroleum Resources. Please, a warm round of applause. Thank you very much for joining us, ma'am. And it is at this point in time I'd like to crave an indulgence, taking into cognizance the exigencies of the office of our special guest of honor. We don't intend to keep him here for too long, but I've also whispered to him that we just have a few more items on our agenda before he comes up to the podium to deliver his special remarks. So in the light of that, we'd like to be very brave with time. and being brave with time at this point, I'll be yielding the floor to the resident representative of the United Nations Development Program, Elsie Atafua. Please come and welcome her to the podium for 3 minutes with a round of applause. Elsie Atafua Akwaba. She's our sister from the other side, but she's already a Nigerian. Please put your hands together for her one more time.
Good evening, everyone. Let me first of all recognize His Excellency Senator George Akume, the Secretary to Government, who is our chief guest. My own dear very sister, Mrs. Didi. Congratulations. And I knew I had to do this for you. I had to rush from another meeting to come. And all the honorable ministers, ambassadors, permanent secretaries, excellencies, let me stand on existing protocols. I don't have a written speech. I'll attempt to speak off cuff. And let me say that the world that we are in is a world that is shifting, and is shifting very fast under our feet. And one of the areas where we are seeing significant shifts is in the area of innovation, digitalization, and that is what is going to really ensure that our future is really, our development is future-proofed based on digital tools and processes and systems that we have. And in that world, I think the civil service plays a very critical role. And that role is to ensure that we can use digitalization to enable development. We can use digitalization to enable economic growth and competitiveness. We can use digitalization to ensure that we build resilience to crisis and shocks. We all remember what happened during our COVID time when we couldn't do anything. But because of digital tools, we could ensure business continuity in a number of spaces. And in an era like this as well, we know that digitalization can help us to draw data in a way that we can inform decision-making as well. For us in UNDP, and by extension the United Nations family, we are very grateful for the partnership we have with the Federal Civil Service under the leadership of our sister, Mrs. Didi. We have this year, at the beginning of the year, we supported more than 20 leaders at the state level to go to Singapore, where we ensure that we could twin them with the UNDP Center of Excellence that focuses on public service and civil service. And with that, one of the areas that we identified for partnership was in the area of digitalization. And beyond that, we have been exploring a number of partnerships, including developing and working with Mrs. Didi and team on an innovation hub within the civil service. And that innovation and digital hub, again, is to spur innovation and promote excellence in the civil service. So I can only say in conclusion that by scaling digitalization, we can transform really skills into jobs. We must see this as part of Nigeria's development and the future of development in Nigeria. We can turn ideas into enterprises. We can turn policies into really measurable gains that can accelerate inclusive development. And so since I'm just speaking off cuff and I didn't know I was supposed to speak this evening, let me just simply say congratulations to Mrs. Didi and team, congratulations to the civil service, and truly let us all be inspired because digital is the way forward now. Thank you very much for the opportunity.
Thank you very much. If you actually spoke off the cuff and you did speak like that, then I can tell you are very digitally inclined. Please, a big round of applause for her one more time. Thank you very much. Thank you very much indeed, the resident representative of the UNDP. And when you speak like that, what I would say we do next is to beat our chest to say, yes, Nigeria has actually blazed the trail with the initiative and singular efforts of the head of civil service of the Federation, with this very laudable one that we're all gathered here for this evening. We're going to be moving on pretty very fast, and I think it is after now that our special guest, Ivana, will then be invited to speak. But just before then, sir, whilst I plead with you to tarry with us a while, I'd like to then invite someone who is also very known to us, the program's director, OneGov, Wumi Ogbetowa, to please join us here to give us a brief talk on GBB and One Government Cloud. Very distinguished ladies and gentlemen, can I invite Wumi? He's been very busy all this while, to the extent he doesn't even take calls from his wife and children, and I don't envy you one bit. Please, let's make that applause for him a bit louder than that, please. Whilst he's coming, I'd like to quickly recognize the presence of Noble Lady Charity Ohadiwa, FIMC, Executive Partner, Africa Women International Networking Conference, Switzerland. We'd like to welcome you, ma'am. The woman in red. Just get up and get a round of applause for her one more time. Thank you very much. Mr. Wumi, you have the floor.
Good evening, Your Excellencies, Secretary to the Federal Government, Head of the Civil Service of the Federation, distinguished ministers and permanent secretaries, leaders of ministries, departments, and agencies, esteemed members of the diplomatic corps. I'm honored to address you this evening as the program director of the One Government Cloud on a night that represents far more than an award ceremony. Tonight, we're marking a national inflection point, the moment the civil service decisively crossed from paper to platform, from fragmentation to federation, and from aspiration to execution. The dream of public sector digitalization in Africa for Africa by Africans did not begin in the comfort or certainty. It began in 2020 during the height of COVID, when institutions across the world were tested, movement was restricted, and governments were forced to confront a fundamental question: how resilient is the state when paper can no longer move? Out of that disruption emerged a clear conviction that Africa must own its digital public infrastructure, that sovereignty is no longer defined only by physical borders, but also by data, platforms, and institutional capability, and that the public sector digitalization must be designed for our realities at our scale and our terms. By October 2023, the conviction took concrete form with the birth of the Galaxy Backbone-hosted One Government Cloud framework, a unified, sovereign, and scalable digital spine for the Nigerian public service. Since then, something remarkable has happened. We made a deliberate choice to pursue collaboration rather than centralization, harnessing the strengths of public institutions, partnering with the indigenous software companies, and enabling professional service organizations to implement, scale, and sustain transformation across governments. What emerged was not just a platform, but a national framework, one designed to endure beyond administrations, beyond projects, and beyond personalities. Our success today is not by chance, it is by leadership. When the head of the civil service of the Federation declared that the service had entered the final sprint of the Federal Civil Service Strategy and Implementation Plan 2021 to 2025, with digitalization as a core pillar, a powerful signal was sent across the system. That declaration did what effective leadership always does. It set a deadline. As Parkinson's law reminds us, work expands to fill the time available for its completion. By setting a clear, non-negotiable horizon, the head of the service collapsed in indecision, eliminated procrastination, and aligned ministries, departments, and agencies partners and implementers towards delivery. The deadline was clear, the mandate was unmistakable, and together we moved. What you are about to see on screen is not a product demonstration, it's not national capability, it's a living, working experience of what becomes possible when policy, platform, and purpose are aligned. A paperless civil service is not about technology alone. It is about speed, accountability, institutional memory, service to citizens, and the ability of government to function efficiently in a digital world. The One Government Cloud provides the foundation, but its true power lies in adoption, discipline, and continuous leadership commitment across the public service. This evening, as we recognize ministries, departments, and agencies for their leadership and excellence, we're also issuing a quiet challenge to sustain the momentum, deepen the adoption, and ensure that this digital transformation becomes irreversible. On behalf of the One Government Cloud program, I wish to express our deep appreciation to the head of the Civil Service of the Federation for her leadership and resolve. To Galaxy Backbone and the Implementation Agency, to our indigenous software and professional service partners, and to every public servant who has embraced this change. Together, we have proven that Africa can design, build, and operate sovereign digital infrastructure at scale and with confidence. Thank you, and please enjoy the rest of your evening.
Yes, indeed, it's an evening of celebration. And so each time we call for a round of applause is because we are all in a celebration mood, that there is a glass ceiling that's been shattered by the Federal Civil Service of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, one of its kind. And I'm sure we have also set standards, and I can tell you that this is a pace-setting event. Please give it up if your hands are not very busy for the Civil Service of the Federation. Thank you so very, very much. I recognize the presence of Professor Tunji Olaokba, the Chairman, Federal Civil Service Commission, represented here by the Permanent Secretary, Federal Civil Service Commission, Dr. Emeka Vitalis Obi, MNI. We welcome you. Thank you so very much in his stead. I recognize the presence of the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Interior, Dr. Magdalene Ajani. We'd like to welcome you very specially to this event. Thank you so very much. Engineer Gajere Nadungu is the Permanent Secretary, Communications, Innovation, and Digital Economy, standing in for the Honorable Minister of Communications and Digital Economy, Dr. Bosun Tijani. Can we welcome him as well with a round of applause? Thank you for joining us here this evening, as well as Dr. Liman M. Tijani, representative of a Director General, ASCON. We want to welcome you very specially. Thank you very much for finding time to be here. Igwe Kingsley O is Registrar and CEO of the Council for the Registration of Freight Forwarding in Nigeria. We'd like to welcome you once again, as we also appreciate the Executive Director and CEO of the Shippers Council of Nigeria. We'd like to welcome Dr. Akuta Pius Ukeyima, Esquire, MON, PhD. We welcome you once again. Moving on very quickly, Your Excellencies, very distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I'd like us to fix our gaze on the LED screens in the hall just before the remarks of our special guest of honor, that we need to see the journey thus far, how it all began, and how this initiative got driven by this woman until it came to fruition. So it is my honor and privilege for us to please stay tuned and watch the documentary for just 5 minutes, and we'll be back with you, and the remarks of a special guest of honor will follow. Ladies and gentlemen, please let's watch.
The Federal Civil Service is the engine of government. Its effectiveness determines how policies translate into outcomes for citizens. Under the leadership of Mr. President and guided by the renewed hope agenda, the Civil Service has been mandated to deliver faster, more transparent, and more responsive services. This documentary tells the story of that transformation.
I commend the head of service of the Federation, DG Esther. Thank you very much for outstanding leadership and tireless pursuit of the reform. Your stewardship has driven the successful implementation of the Federal Civil Service Strategy and Implementation Plan from 2021 to 2025. And the music go on. The achievement is marked by milestones such as digitalizing work processes, continuous planning initiatives, and launching service like GPT. I've seen it. I got the letter.
The Federal Civil Service Strategy and Implementation Plan 2021 to 2025 provides the blueprint for reform. Pillar 5 of the FCSSIP digitalization recognizes that modern governance requires modern systems. It mandates a transition from manual, fragmented processes to a unified digital civil service, underlined with the President's directive to all ministries, departments, and agencies to improve service delivery.
And so the race to December 31st is on. And so to answer your question, Adelante, the civil service, by the grace of God, and with our working very hard, will go paperless by December 31st, 2025.
To implement this mandate, the civil service adopted a single secure digital backbone, the GBB One Government Cloud. This platform enables standardized processes across MDAs and supports collaboration and ensures data sovereignty. Its implementation has been supported by honorable ministers and driven by transformative permanent secretaries across government.
Something appears impossible until it is done.
Yes.
Then you now find out that it's actually easy.
Yes.
Achieve.
Yes.
That's what's happened. I mean, people thought it was impossible.
Yes.
But when you came in with that moral grit and authority to push it,
yes,
everybody had to, your part.
Personally, I'm extremely delighted. I'm so happy, and I'll tell you why. I've always said this, that this is 2025, not 1975. Technology must play its role.
To launch the Ministry of Interior Electronic Records and Archival System, INTERAS.
In those days we're looking at, we're struggling with files missing. But by the time we finish with this service, it's become easier. So gradually we are becoming a slower village. Wherever you are, you can walk. And you can meet also. We can have meetings about our wherever you are.
Let me commend the head of the Civil Service of the Federation, the Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Labor and Employment, our directors of the ministry, the ECM implementation team, and Galaxy Backbone for their hard work, dedication, and collaboration that brought us to this moment. Your efforts reflect the spirit of progress we must continue to uphold.
This effort to have the ECM go live is one that is very welcome to achieve the vision of a system that actually endures over time, that transforms not only the service but also the country by a government being able to deliver efficiently and effectively.
The Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Reduction will continue to champion initiatives that modernize our operations. The launch of this enterprise content management system marks a new chapter in our digital transformation journey. It symbolizes our readiness to lead with data, work with integrity, and deliver with impact.
His Excellency Dr. Henry Dele Aleke, who, hearing on the Mr. President's vision to digitize the public service, has taken it personal to champion this whole process, has made it possible for everybody in our own ministry to be trained through digital literacy programs, as well as to be given the right tools.
Our work is going to be very, very easy. It's going to be made very easy, and our interaction with not only our missions, but all foreign missions is becoming more seamless than before. And we are also now using the GovMail to have our virtual meetings. We are no longer using the ordinary Zoom. We have our customized system, which is more secure and under our full control.
As far as telling me about what we should expect between now and the end of December.
Attention, please.
With this kind of initiative, my hope is renewed. This woman is supposed to be celebrated.
Our digitalization effort is yielding remarkable results. Moving to one government cloud, therefore, aligns with the national shift to sovereign digitalization and directly protects Nigeria's data, platforms, and digital future. The One Government Cloud ECMS is designed as a single government-wide platform that allows MDAs to operate on one digital backbone, one workflow language, and one record system.
This particular one that we're logged in, you see a few things. One is the Gov ECMS, where all the tasks and the automated tasks are driven. The other is the Gov InMail. Gov InMail is purely internal mail within the government, within the ministry and interministry.
Digital transformation must improve the citizen experience. Through paperless MDAs, citizens can engage government digitally, submit requests, track outcomes, and verify official communications. This strengthens trust and delivers measurable service improvements. Reliability is essential to service delivery. A unified support system ensures that ministries and agencies receive timely assistance, system monitoring, and continuous operational support. Trust in digital government depends on security. Secure authentication protects identities, safeguards data, and ensures confidence in the civil services digital system. Paperless workflows are transforming how decisions are made. Digital file creation, routing approval, and archiving have reduced delays, improved accountability, and strengthened institutional discipline across MDAs. Digital records preserve institutional memory. Structured storage and classification ensure continuity, support oversight, and enable informed decision-making. A connected civil service communicates better. Secure, unified messaging supports coordination between ministers, permanent secretaries, and MDAs. Digital transformation extends to how public resources are managed. Transparent assets tracking strengthens accountability and aligns with the expectations of the renewed Hope agenda. Digital collaboration enables faster, more inclusive governance. Visual engagement supports timely coordination across ministries and agencies. Sustainable reform depends on people. Certified professionals support MDAs nationwide, working alongside civil servants to embed digital capability across the federal civil service.
To be sincere, it's not been straightforward because changing human beings or changing what people are used to, it's not as easy. But so far so good, we've had the cooperation of the head of service herself, and the permanent secretaries have been supportive, and even our President's ministry have been supportive in this drive to make digital transformation call to the government?
Digitalization is not just about technology, but it's also about being intentional about protecting digital destiny and consulting. We thank you for adopting on this journey the Government Cloud ECM. It is a landmark event for you and for us.
Guided by FCSSIP Pillar 5, driven by the President's renewed hope agenda, and championed by ministers and permanent secretaries, the Federal Civil Service is transforming. This is a civil service that is modern, responsive, and accountable, delivering service, building trust, transforming Nigeria.
A round of applause, please, for the Federal Civil Service of the Federation. Thank you very, very much, and would like to use this opportunity to also welcome the coordinator for government programs, and would like to welcome Hadiza Bala Usman to this event. Please, a warm round of applause for her as we make progress very quickly for brevity of time. Your Excellencies, very distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the die is cast. It is therefore my honor and privilege, as we have today as our special guest of honor at this event, Senator Dr. George Akume CON, the Secretary to Government of the Federation, a seasoned statesman, distinguished legislator, and a steadfast pillar of national governance who also believes in digitalization. Ladies and gentlemen, please let's welcome him to the podium as we take the remarks and special remarks of the special guest of honor, the Secretary to Government of the Federation. Can we make that applause for him a bit louder than that, please? As I welcome Tolu Lokpe Odunaya, Executive Secretary, Pension Transitional Zone.
Thank you. Honorable Ministers, top presidential advisors, members of the diplomatic corps, permanent secretaries, Auditor General of the Federation, Accountant General, and other heads of agencies, top public servants, partners, invited guests, ladies and gentlemen. I am delighted to join you this evening at the Paperless Civil Service Gala and Awards Night, an occasion that symbolizes not just celebration, but a defining milestone in the ongoing transformation of the Nigerian civil service. Let me begin by commending the Office of the Head of the Civil Service of the Federation under the purposeful leadership of Mrs. Didi Esther Wilson-Jack, ON MNI, for its vision, consistency, and commitment to reform. Your Excellency, congratulations. This event is a clear demonstration of what is possible when leadership aligns policy with execution. The transition to paperless work processes is not merely a technological upgrade. It is a fundamental shift in culture, mindset, and service delivery. It represents efficiency over bureaucracy, transparency over opacity, and accountability over discretion. Above all, it reflects our collective resolve to build a modern, responsive, and citizen-centered public service. This transformation is fully aligned with the Federal Civil Service Strategy and Implementation Plan 2021 to 2025 and the broader public sector reform agenda of His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, under the Renewed Hope agenda. Digital governance is no longer optional. It is essential to effective coordination, fiscal discipline, and timely decision-making across government. Tonight, we also celebrate individuals, teams, and institutions who have demonstrated leadership, innovation, and courage in driving change, often in the face of resistance. Your recognition here sends a powerful message across the service. That is, excellence will be seen and excellence will be rewarded. As we look ahead, I urge your ministries, departments, and agencies to institutionalize digital processes, safeguard data integrity, invest in capacity building, and sustain reform beyond personalities. The future of governance lies in systems, not shortcuts. Let me conclude by reaffirming the commitment of my office to supporting all initiatives that enhance coordination, efficiency, and reform across government. I congratulate all awardees and wish you a memorable evening. Once again, I congratulate the head of civil service for a wonderful job. Thank you, and God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Please, I'd like that we make that applause a bit louder than that for the special guest of honor, the Secretary to Government of the Federation. We appreciate you. That applause can come even louder than that. Remember, it is healthy to clap. Thank you very, very much indeed, a leader and icon. And as we move on, we'd like to appreciate you, appreciate the time spent with us here this evening. I'd like to just quickly, before we move on, recognize the presence of Hadiza Bala Usman, the Special Advisor to the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria on Policy Coordination and Head Central Delivery Coordination Unit of the Federal Government. We'd like to welcome you, Hadiza Bala Usman, and please put your hands together for her to welcome her, as well as the Executive Secretary Pension Transitional Arrangement Directorate, Tolulokpe Odunaya, ably represented here this evening by the Director Legal, Bilkisu Rimi. We welcome you. Dr. Charles Oswago is representing the Honorable Minister of Power at this event. We welcome you in his stead. Please, let's settle down. We'll take a very brief interlude and then we'll move on. At least let's ginger ourselves up a bit with some good rendition of music from the orchestra band. The Administrator and CEO, Public Service Institute, Miss Ime Okon. Your presence here is highly appreciated. You're welcome, ma'am.
Oh, I've got sunshine on a cloudy day. When it's cold outside, I've got the man of May. Hey, see, I
much. I'm sure this must have taken you way memory lane. The Temptations with that song, My Girl. Thank you so very much, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Let me invite very quickly to come on stage for a further entertainment. We'd like to invite the Ijele Cultural Troupe. Ijele, if you're ready, the stage is ready for you as well. Ijele. The cultural troupe. All right, the band, I've been told to tell you to continue, but very quickly I'd like to recognize the presence of Alhaji Shehu Osman. Hold on a second. Hold on a second, please. I'd like to recognize the presence of Alhaji Shehu Osman Osidi, Managing Director, Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria. We welcome you. We recognize your presence, Mr. Rafiu Olanire Adeladan, the Permanent Secretary, Federal Ministry of Works. We welcome you. And we also recognize the presence of Dr. Ishaku Musa Mohammed and his lovely wife, Permanent Secretary of Service Policies and Strategies Office of the Head of Civil Service of the Federation. We welcome you and your wife. Thank you very much. Okay, we'll get the band to entertain us very briefly, and then we'll move on from there afterwards. The band.
Loves you, man. We go again. Say, it's so good. Needing somebody, that somebody needs you back. So we can build a world of love and life of joy. Make our call each other's happiness. I would do for you anything that I can. Oh, every day you got me inspired. Keep on lifting. Somebody loves you, babe, and that's a fact. It's so good. Needing somebody, that somebody needs you, babe. So to be loved and be loved in return is the only thing my heart desires. Just appreciate the little things I do. Oh, every day you got me inspired. Lifting me higher, so good. Loving somebody, then somebody loves you, man. And that's a fact. It's so good. Needing somebody, then somebody needs you back. It's not 70-30, not 60-40. Talking about a 50-50 love, baby. Say not 70-30.
Ijele Cultural Troupe, ladies and gentlemen. Miko, can we just give them a round of applause? Thank you so very much. Just take a bow as you leave the stage. Can we give them a round of applause one more time? Thank you so very much, Ijele Cultural Troupe. Time is not much in our hands. I would have actually asked them to continue because they have some other electrifying dance steps that you're yet to witness. But I just saw someone that looks like my boss. And looking around, I have confirmed that he's actually my boss that I haven't seen in a very long while. I ran into him in Ile-Ife during the Oni of Ife's 10th anniversary on that throne. And I'd like to recognize the presence of the former head of Civil Service of the Federation, Professor Oladapo Afolabi, CFR. Please welcome him with me with a round of applause. Thank you so very much for joining us this evening, sir. We move on very quickly, and a bit of entertainment before I bring the convener up to lay down the scorecards and what she's been able to do. I'd like to just quickly recognize the... One second. I'd like to recognize all the way from the State House, the man that I long to see. I haven't seen him, but I'm privileged to be seeing him here this evening, Mr. Temitope Peter Fashedemi, the State House Permanent Secretary. Please, let's welcome him with a round of applause, please. Thank you so very much for joining us this evening. Moving on, would like to introduce to you a young man, very talented, but is doing things that are mind-blowing. Everywhere he's been to, he's been winning for himself encomiums, laurels, and awards and accolades. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, very unassuming, but you need to see what he's capable of doing as I bring him on stage. Please join me in welcoming Caleb, the magician. A round of applause for Caleb. Gala, please don't walk the stage. Won't walk off the stage like that. You know, in the part of the world where I'm from the United States of Otubo, we usually will celebrate stars like that. Please, can you just take a bow while we celebrate you one more time? Please, a warm round of applause for this amazing magician who turns wonder into reality. And I can tell you, he leaves us spellbound. Another round of applause for him, please. Thank you so much. Did he blow your mind? Those who believe that he blew your mind, say aye. Those that did not agree that he blew your mind, say nay. The ayes have it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much. Welcome to an amazing evening of celebration put together by the head of the Civil Service of the Federation, a very quintessential leader. Very distinguished ladies and gentlemen. It is at this point that I feel very, very on top of the world right now to begin to introduce the person whose vision has driven all of us from our respective offices after close of work to this arena. Ladies and gentlemen, I must be talking about none other than the lady you know that I also know. Those of you who have worked with her very closely will acknowledge that she's a woman that actually knows her onions. If you believe that, put your hands together for the woman I'm about to introduce. She has led with so much example as a leader and as the head of Civil Service of the Federation, Mrs. Didi Esther Wilson Jack, OON, MNI, stands as a very rare embodiment of vision, discipline, and selfless service, a quintessential stateswoman who has consistently demonstrated that leadership in public service is not just about holding an office, but also about driving transformation, inspiring excellence, and of course, leaving institutions better than she met them. And that is exactly what she's exemplified tonight. Your tenure, madam, is marked by courage to reform, clarity of purpose, and an unwavering commitment to efficiency, transparency, and national development. And under your watch and your stewardship, the Nigerian Civil Service is embracing innovation, digitalization, and sustainability, repositioning itself for global relevance in the 21st century. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I'd like you to please join me in welcoming a woman very humble and, of course, strong in character, but of course, vivacious and ebullient. Please welcome with me to the podium Her Excellency Mrs. Didi Esther Wilson Jack, OON-MNI, a reformist to the core. Can we please hear that applause as you stand for her? And this is in your honor. You're welcome, ma'am.
Thank you very much. Please be seated. The Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Senator George Akume, CON, the Honorable Ministers here present, Honorable Ministers of State, Transformative Permanent Secretaries, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Good evening, and I must say you all look so lovely from here. It is a privilege to stand before you tonight at the Paperless Civil Service Gala and Awards Night. I must say I'm really excited. This occasion brings us together to celebrate excellence, innovation, and the collective progress we are making towards the digitalization of processes. Globally, public administrations are rapidly moving away from paper-based processes towards digital governance driven by the need for speed, transparency, resilience, and citizen trust. In today's interconnected environment, countries that fail to digitize their public services are not merely slow, they are uncompetitive and are increasingly becoming irrelevant. Governments are embracing digital transformation as a powerful equalizer, using technology to leapfrog legacy systems, improve service delivery, reduce corruption, and connect more effectively with citizens. And Nigeria's progress demonstrates that African public services can innovate boldly and deliver reforms that match global standards. This evening represents a defining moment in the reform journey of the Nigerian Federal Civil Service, because digitalization, which for many years sounded like a good idea, maybe we could get there someday, has finally arrived. And I'm delighted that we can now speak about it, not as a concept, but as reality. The journey towards a digitally transformed and paperless federal civil service did not begin overnight, and it certainly did not begin with this administration. It has been a deliberate and progressive reform effort spanning successive heads of the civil service of the Federation, each building firmly on the foundations laid by their predecessors. And so I'd like us to give a round of applause to all the former heads of civil service of the Federation. Specifically, in 2017, under the leadership of Mrs. Winifred Oyo Ita, the Federal Civil Service Strategy and Implementation Plan 2017 to 2020 was launched. And for the first time, digitalization was clearly positioned as a strategic reform priority. That strategy introduced the concept of an enterprise content management system, signaling a shift away from paper dependency and laying the groundwork for digitizing records, memos, and workflows across the service. Early efforts began modestly but meaningfully. For example, the traditional practice of issuing staff posting and deployment circulars purely on paper was moved to a secure online repository using a controlled cloud approach to prevent the fraudulent alteration of posting circulars. By placing these sensitive postings in the cloud, the service sent a strong signal that transparency, authenticity, and accountability would define the new direction. Though initial reforms often face the inertia of old habits, the foundation was laid for a civil service that could eventually transcend the deeply entrenched paper-bound bureaucracy of the past. It was a bold signal that the service was ready to embrace an efficient, productive, incorruptible, and citizen-centered culture. That foundation was significantly strengthened under the leadership of Dr. Folashade Yemieso, CFR, who recognized that digitalization could not remain at the level of pilots and isolated initiatives. Under her stewardship, the Federal Civil Service Strategy and Implementation Plan 2021 to 2025, popularly known as FCIP 25, was developed. Crucially, the earlier concept of enterprise content management evolved into a broader and more ambitious focus on digitalization of content services, reflecting a shift from simply scanning documents to transforming how information flows, how decisions are taken, and how work is tracked, as well as how services are delivered across ministries, departments, and agencies. A pivotal moment came in 2020 when the COVID-19 disruption underscored the cost of clinging to paper. In June of that year, Dr. Folashade Yemieso issued a landmark circular directing every ministry, department, and agency to convert their files to digital format without delay. This was the turning point when digitalization moved from a recommended pilot to a mandated policy. No longer a suggestion, it became an instruction. MDAs were ordered to automate their registries and report progress quarterly, making it clear that the era of bulging file cabinets and missing documents must give way to electronic data management. Now, when I assumed office as head of the Civil Service of the Federation in August 2024, I met a system that had made progress but still had a long way to go, as only about 3 ministries and extra-ministerial departments had fully digitized their work processes, namely the Office of the Head of the Civil Service of the Federation, the Federal Ministry of Transportation, and the Federal Ministry of Finance. While commendable, it also meant that the rest of us were still very attached to our paper and our printers. At the same time, FCIP 25 was approaching its final phase, and I realized quickly that if we continued at a gentle pace, we would reach the end of the strategy with impressive plans but modest results, which was not an option. And that is why, at the very beginning of my tenure, we inaugurated 7 war rooms. I guess some of you remember the war rooms. So we had a war room for each pillar and then one for the enablers. They were inaugurated not as spaces for long speeches, but as spaces where problems were confronted, excuses were retired, and results were demanded. I can tell you that what has come out of those war rooms has been nothing short of miraculous. At the beginning of this year, we declared the theme FCIP 25 the final sprint, delivering results. And when we shared this with our transformative permanent secretaries, it became clear that this was not a jog, not a brisk walk, but a proper sprint. The kind that leaves you slightly breathless, but very proud at the finish line. Today, under my leadership as head of the Civil Service of the Federation, these reforms have been consolidated and accelerated with urgency and discipline, ensuring continuity and sustainability while delivering measurable outcomes. That was why the war rooms were established under FCIP 25 to deliver the reforms at a more accelerated pace. The digital war room in particular has driven the transformation from aspiration to delivery, and the evidence is now visible across the service. GovMail, driven through this coordinated push, now stands at 100,828 official email accounts as of this evening, providing secure government communication at scale, strengthening sovereignty over official correspondence, improving responsiveness, and saving the government billions of naira previously spent on external licenses. I think it's a good place to clap. Let me emphasize clearly and strongly. Today's celebration is about the digitalization of work processes. There is still so much to do. The Office of Head of the Civil Service of the Federation is already moving ahead. And that is why we have come up with the following digital initiatives. Our world-class service-wise GPT, trained on the Constitution, public service rules, statutory regulations, circulars, and other official instruments, has recorded over 25,000 chats, enabling faster access to authoritative guidance for public servants and the general public. The online compendium of federal circulars with thousands of searches and downloads has ended the frustrating hunt for the right circular, strengthening consistency and transparency in decision making. We are also digitizing our learning ecosystem through the Federal Civil Service Online Academy, ensuring that our training modules are modern, accessible, and scalable so that capacity building keeps pace with the demands of a digital service. Equally important, our core management systems are being modernized not as side projects, but as the backbone of a performing civil service. The performance management system is now automated in most ministries, strengthening accountability and aligning performance with national priorities. The personnel audit and skills gap analysis, otherwise known as PASGA, is digitizing personnel records and skills data across the service, giving government for the first time a living, evidence-based view of its workforce, who we are, what we can do, where our gaps are, and how to plan recruitment, training, and deployment with precision. In the spirit of the Nigeria First policy, every digital initiative, system, and technology we implement must prioritize locally developed solutions, support Nigerian expertise, build local capacity, and rely on homegrown innovation wherever possible, so that our public service not only delivers efficiently, but also strengthens our economy and showcases the ingenuity of our own people. Tonight is therefore a night of recognition, and to our awardees and your teams, let me say clearly, you earned this moment because you did not wait for perfect conditions. You did not wait for everyone else to go first. And you certainly did not wait for the network to be perfect. You went live, you stayed live, and you are still standing, which deserves both applause and awards. I must express our very deep appreciation to His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, whose renewed hope agenda has provided the political will and strategic clarity that allows reforms like this to move beyond PowerPoint presentations into real institutional change. Because without presidential support, even the best digital systems would still be waiting for approval. I also sincerely acknowledge and appreciate the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, who was here earlier, as well as all the honorable ministers and honorable ministers of state, whose leadership and encouragement have ensured that political direction and administrative execution remain aligned, and who, I must say, have increasingly become digital champions themselves, sometimes even reminding us that a document has already been sent electronically. I must not end this address without acknowledging and appreciating the work of a very dear sister whose schedule is actually to assess all the ministries as far as their ministerial deliverables are concerned. And I'm speaking of no other person than my dear sister, Hadiza Bala Usman. Hadiza, today, you can go back to the office tomorrow morning and take off that ministerial deliverable that talks about content services. Because every ministry has scored, if I may preempt you, 100%. Let me also specially commend our transformative permanent secretaries, directors, and staff across ministries, departments, and agencies, because policies do not implement themselves and systems do not succeed on goodwill alone. Many of you had to learn about platforms. You had to unlearn old habits and resist the urge to say, and I quote, "Let me just do it the old way this once," unquote. And it's your persistence that has brought us here tonight. I must confess that even in my office, I've had to occasionally remind some of my permanent secretaries not to take me back to Egypt by bringing paper files, but go send them electronically. But I think the permanent secretaries, directors, and staff of the Federal Public Service deserve a resounding applause. I would like to especially appreciate the support and encouragement of the Permanent Secretary, Engineer Farouk Yabo, who was the head of the Digitalization War Room. As for the MD CEO of Galaxy Backbone Limited, I don't even know what to say. He and his team have been of such immense value and support on this journey. And the members of the Digitalization War Room, whose guidance, technical expertise, and steady execution have been instrumental in turning ambition into reality, ensuring that the Federal Civil Service adopted technology correctly and sustainably. I must also recognize the Nigerian Shippers Council for being the first agency to invite me to its Go Live event. That was just a couple of days ago, while commending the many others who have quietly gone live, proving that progress often happens behind the scenes, even if a little celebration never hurts. Let me emphasize at this juncture that the office of the head of the Civil Service of the Federation is always available to assist anyone in need. If you are stuck, confused, or unsure about any process, we are ready to guide, support, to ensure your systems run smoothly and ensure that no one is left behind. To those still on the journey, digital systems will test your patience. Networks will misbehave. Passwords will mysteriously stop working. And sometimes the system will ask you to log in just when you had already logged in. These early frustrations should never discourage you, because every system has lapses at the beginning, and persistence turns frustration into fluency. Let me share a personal confession. When I first resumed office as head of the Civil Service of the Federation, the enterprise content management system was a daily adventure, and I practically had the ECMS vendor staff permanently in my office. In fact, the young lady, Doris, became so regular that I nicknamed her my fairy godmother. Because once I mentioned a problem, she would wave her hands and fix it. Although unfortunately the problems were quite persistent. That experience taught me that digitalization is not about the absence of problems, but about solving them faster and smarter, and learning to do so with fewer paper backups. For those watching the calendar closely, there is still time. There is still time before the 31st of December. And let me say cheerfully, if you go live, we will celebrate you. And yes, we can still have another party in your honor. Because this reform journey believes in second chances, third chances, and well-timed go-lives. By the singular act of going live on the enterprise content management system, every ministry represented here tonight has achieved full compliance, like I said, on the ministerial deliverable for digitalization of work processes. I think it's a good place to clap. As we enjoy the evening, let me thank the sponsors of this event, Galaxy Backbone Limited, and their partner, Crown Interactive Limited, for making today a reality. Let us remember that digitalization is not about replacing people with machines, but about empowering people to work better, faster, and smarter. As we recognize our champions and encourage those still pushing forward, let history record that this was the moment the Federal Civil Service truly embraced a paperless future, even if some of us still instinctively look for a pen. And let me add with a smile that 3 years down the line, we will all look back and imagine how we ever worked with paper. Thank you all for your dedication and resilience throughout this journey. God bless the Federal Civil Service, and God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Ma'am, I don't know where you schooled, but you blow my mind with your elocution and your diction. Please, ladies and gentlemen, our spoken English is not comparable with anyone close to us right now. I'd like to appreciate you one more time. And you, by the way, you look very resplendent in this your attire, ma'am. Thank you for being the mentor. Thank you so much. Thank you. All right. Thank you. Yes, we're going to celebrate, but before we do that, please take your seats very briefly. We'll be celebrating, but before we do that, it is pertinent for you to see the unveiling of the Paperless Civil Service Portal. She'll be doing the unveiling, and it is our honor to invite the workaholic head of Civil Service of the Federation one more time to handle the microphone to perform the unveiling for all to see, and then we'll be able to speak to it some more. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So welcome to the Paperless Civil Service Portal. And you can see that the portal has steps to engage the office of the head of the civil service of the Federation. And I'm also proud to say that every ministry has its own paperless civil service portal. And so you can see the first is engage us. Through this portal, you can reach us to request a service, make inquiries, submit a complaint, make suggestions, or simply commend us. We will make sure your engagement gets the attention it deserves. The next thing is that we want you to track your engagement with us. And so anytime you engage us, we will send you a tracking ID as reference for your engagement. And you can engage us on the matter anytime using your email address and tracking ID. Now the third is that you can verify the staff that you are engaging with, or the staff that is handling your matter. So is anyone claiming to be a staff of office of the head of the Civil Service of the Federation? Confirm the authenticity of our staff by validating their credentials using their surname and staff ID. And so it is my pleasure to welcome everyone in this room, as well as citizens of Nigeria and stakeholders from all over the world, to please meet us at our paperless civil service portal and engage with us. Thank you.
Thank you. Can we celebrate that one more time? This tells the world that Nigeria has truly gone digital in terms of civil service. And so in the light of that, to join her for pictures with that on display at the background, we'd like to invite, hold on to that music, I'd like to invite Hadiza Bala Usman to please join her here. The former head of civil service, Prof. Babalola, please join us, sir. And then, of course, the Kenyan High Commissioner to Nigeria. Is a UNDP country resident representative is still here? Okay, fine. So please. So we don't make it an all-women's affair. Being the trailblazer, we have invited the Kenyan High Commissioner and the former head of civil service of the Federation to also join in the celebration. And so, ladies and gentlemen, I like to sound like she sounded, but it's pretty difficult for me. Let us please celebrate the paperless civil service portal of the Federation. Thank you. If you intend to sing that anthem along with the head of service, you are free to stand up and sing this anthem of the civil service. You can dance to it. Hadiza Bala Usman and Prof. You can equally dance to it. The Kenyan High Commissioner. You're not dancing to this celebration. Yes. Asante Sana. Thank you. I wouldn't let this song finish. Time is time is of the essence right now. Woo! It's as if you sang that song, man. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, man. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We'll play that song after the next item on our agenda. Thank you very much, ma'am. I think you can return to your seats. Please. State House, Federal Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Poverty Alleviation, Federal Ministry of Regional Development, Federal Ministry of Transport, and Federal Ministry of Environment. Can we please put our hands together for all of them as they come out, the 5 of you, one after the other. The 5 permanent secretaries or their representatives, State House, Federal Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Alleviation, Federal Ministry of Regional Development, Federal Ministry of Transport, Federal Ministry Humanitarian Affairs, and then Regional Development will follow, and then Ministry of Transport and Ministry of Environment. Congratulations, man. Ahinya. Federal Ministry of Environment. Okay, he's represented. Environment? Oh, this is transport. Okay, thank you. Environment is next. Do we have Ministry of Environment here? All right, please let's join him for a photo opportunity. They will take pictures with you. Thank you. To the next 5, as this picture is being taken, the next 5, Ministry of Police Affairs, Federal Ministry of Arts, Culture, Tourism and Creative Economy, Federal Ministry of Budget and National Planning, Federal Ministry of Youth Development, and Federal Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investment. Please, in this order, can we have you join us here, please? Thank you. Ministry of Arts, Culture and Creative Economy. Police Affairs has taken, Arts and Culture has taken, Ministry of Budget and National Planning, Ministry of Youth Development. After this, and then the Federal Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investment next. Federal Ministry of Aviation and Aerospace Development, please be on standby after this photo opportunity with the winners. Federal Ministry of Aviation and Aerospace Technology Development, Federal Ministry of Water Resources, Ministry of Livestock Development. Thank you very much, the MD Shanghai. Let me invite the Permanent Secretary, the incoming Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Marine and Blue Economy, Mrs. Fatima Sugra Tabaya Mahmood. Please a round of applause for her, please, as she comes forward. She's going to do us the honor of presenting the next round of awards to the deserving ministries. Federal Ministry of Aviation and Aerospace Development, Federal Ministry of Water Resources and Sanitation, Federal Ministry of Defense, Ministry of Livestock Development, and Office of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation. Secretary to the Government of the Federation, do we have you? Someone representing him or the office? Science, Innovation, and Technology. And these last set of ministries, we've been told very reliably, are going live on ECM before the 31st. That's the date for the deadline, 31st December 2025. Congratulations to them. After this, Madam Joy, thank you and your colleague for what you're doing, as well as my colleague. And as soon as you receive your award, please do not be in a hurry to leave the stage, because we'll be having a photo opportunity with the presenter. their behalf. World Bank is not here either. Thank you very much, Dr. Farouk. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. The next category of award is an award of the head of Civil Service of the Federation for Digital for All Excellence. And this award is presented to an individual. This individual is the former governor of Kebbi State and Honorable Minister of Budget and Economic Planning, His Excellency Senator Abubakar Atiku Bagudu, CON, and is in recognition of being the first and only top management officer across the federal public service to successfully complete all 4 mandatory Digital for All, Literacy for All courses, demonstrating exceptional commitment, visionary leadership, and personal dedication to the digital transformation drive under the Federal Civil Service Strategy and Implementation Plan 2021 to 2025. Can I have the pleasure of inviting the Permanent Secretary one more time to please come up here and represent the Minister, Senator Atiku Bagudu, CON. May I invite the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Interior, Dr. Magdalene Ajani, to please do us the honor of presenting this award. And it is presented to Senator, His Excellency Senator Abubakar Atiku Bagudu, CON, the former governor of Kebbi State and the Minister of Budget and Economic Planning. His achievements exemplifies what it means to lead by example and inspire others to follow. Congratulations. As the presenter comes up and presenting to the Honorable Minister, represented here by the Permanent Secretary. The next category of award is, Madam, we're not done yet, man. One more. The next award is Pioneer Champion of the Paperless Civil Service Award. This special recognition is presented to the Honorable Minister of Solid Minerals, Dr. Henry Dele Alake, in recognition of his exemplary leadership and sustained contribution to advancing paperless operations within the Federal Civil Service. Through effective advocacy, operational drive, and commitment to digital best practices, the Minister has demonstrated and strengthened the implementation of key reforms and accelerated the service transition towards a fully digital work environment. And his role has been instrumental in embedding a culture of digital excellence across the service. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for the Minister of Solid Minerals. We now move over to one of the statements and the names that were mentioned here by the Chief Convener of this event, the Honorable Head of Civil Service of the Federation, in her remarks. These recognition award for digital transformation delivery, the War Room team, and the presentation is as follows. This recognition is presented to the Digitalization Pillar 5 War Room team, led by Engineer Farouk Yusuf Yabo and Dr. Emeka Vitalis Obi MNI. Can we have the duo? Your mission was to accelerate Pillar 5 reform process, overcome obstacles and proffer solutions towards achieving successful outcomes. The War Room team ensured that challenges become solutions and targets become achievements. Your work The War Room team ensured that challenges become solutions and targets becomes achievements. And your work has been central to the momentum towards the paperless civil service. Don't go away yet. You're going to take pictures. Dr. Yabo, you haven't taken pictures. The two of you will have to take pictures with Madam. I was actually just taking us through the very brief dossier on the work and efforts that you put in. The result of your dedication, resilience, and behind-the-scenes excellence is what we're witnessing today at this historic event. This mission is accomplished, and tonight we celebrate your indispensable role in this historic transformation. A round of applause for them one more time, please. Thank you very much, Dr. Magdalene Ajani, for giving us the time that you have given to presenting these awards.
Very distinguished ladies and gentlemen, at this point we would like to invite our visionary leader, the head of the Civil Service of the Federation, and all members of her table to please make their way upstage. The head of the Civil Service of the Federation and everybody seated with her on her table to please make their way upstage. We'd like to celebrate our mother, our quintessential Queen Mother, the #1 public servant of the Federal Civil Service. Please keep the applause coming. Let's sustain the applause. Thank you.
Thank you very, very much. Those of you on her table that have come to join her in this, we appreciate you. This special recognition is for the digitalization drive in federal civil service. And this special recognition is presented to an individual, a top government functionary, whose visionary leadership has been the drive and the force behind institutional reforms, including the federal civil service digitization journey. Through strategic direction, unwavering commitment, and bold reform leadership, the person in question has steered the service towards a historic digital milestone. Tonight, we host the first ever Federal Civil Service Digitalization Awards. We honor a leadership that has transformed vision into action, a bold step that has made mission impossible possible, and an unmatched energy and doggedness that inspires all to be more and do more, especially with a paperless federal civil service drive and deadline by 31st December 2025. The quintessential recipient of these awards is none other than our Amazon, the head of Civil Service of the Federation, Mrs. Didi Esther Wilson Jack OON MNI. I can't hear that applause for her. Can we give her a standing ovation, please? If we're not asking for too much. Keep the music coming. Let the celebration begin. As we invite the former head of Civil Service, Professor Babalola, to do us the honor of presenting to the head of Civil Service of the Federation. This needs some talking, so I'm going to be walking towards the presenter to do us the honor of presenting these awards.
Well, before I present this, I must say what a man can do, a woman can do a lot better. We try very hard to really digitalize the service. Very, very hard. At my time, we tried only with the Federal Executive Council to some extent. But for someone to carry the whole challenge and today's unveiling, kudos. So, to the committee, here is, yes, from the Office of the Head of Civil Service of the Federation, the Presidency, special recognition for the digitalization drive in the Federal Civil Service, presented to our Mrs. Didi Esther Walsinjak, ONMNI. In honor of your visionary leadership and unwavering commitment to advancing the Federal Civil Service digitalization agenda, awarded today, 17th day of December 2025. Paperless Civil Service Awards. Congratulations.
Okay, thank you, DJ. Just want to find out if you've established pictures. Photographers, are you done with them? Thank you very much. You may return to your seats. Thank you very much. Another resounding applause for the head of civil service of the Federation. Very enigmatic and phenomenal. Thank you very much. As you take your seats, congratulations, ma.
So many reasons why we should stay apart.
Thank you. Can we give her another round of applause, please? Thank you, and thank you very much indeed. Winding down, but please let me invite the Permanent Secretary, State House, Mr. Temitokbe Peter Fashodemi, to please come join me on this side of the divide. And your role tonight, Mr. Pamsek, State House, is for you to just give response on behalf of all the ministries and MDAs that have received these awards tonight, and after which we'll be inviting the person that is meant to be giving us the vote of thanks. But before you do that, please take it afresh. Take for you to come on stage. It is pertinent to get a brief dossier on the head of civil service of the Federation, the very enigmatic and visionary woman and stateswoman. Let's please listen briefly.
Powers could hardly be obeyed, as Didi worked for both the executive and legislative arms of the state government. Mrs. Gerald Didi Esther Walsinjak, the head of the civil service of the Federation, was born in Port Harcourt, Rivers State. She holds a Bachelor of Laws degree from the University of Lagos and was called to the Nigerian Bar in 1987. She's a legislative drafter and a certified conflict resolution and peace-building practitioner. Her public service career includes stints as Deputy Chief of Staff to the Governor, and Pioneer Commissioner of the Ministry of Science and Technology and Manpower Development in Bayelsa State, while on secondment from the Federal Civil Service. Mrs. Walsinjak joined the civil service as a state counsel in the Rivers State Ministry of Justice and transferred her service to the civil service of the newly created Bayelsa State in 1996. Her specialist skills in legislative drafting and the insufficient human resources in the nascent state meant that the principles of separation of powers could hardly be obeyed, as Didi worked for both the executive and legislative arms of the state government. Mrs. Walson-Jack went on to serve as Solicitor General of Bayelsa State and Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Justice from July 2002 to December 2008. As SGPS, she is credited with several sound policy directions and invaluable institutional support for government. She is Administrator General's Department and publication of the Laws of Bayelsa State Law Reports. In 2009, Mrs. Didi Walson-Jack transferred to the Federal Civil Service as an Assistant Director and rose through the ranks, contributing a quota to smooth administration in the ministries and extra-ministerial departments of the federal government. She was key in developing the structured mandatory assessment-based training program, SMART-P, and the Leadership Enhancement and Development Program, LEAD-P, for public servants in 2015. Mrs. Didi Walson-Jack, an alumna of the prestigious National Institute for Policy and Strategic Studies, NIPS, was appointed and sworn in as the Federal Permanent Secretary in August 2017 and deployed to the office of the Head of the Civil Service of the Federation with responsibility for service welfare. In this capacity, she initiated the institutionalization of a rewards and recognition system. As chair of the Joint National Public Service Negotiating Council, her labor relations strategies ensured industrial harmony. Other landmarks of her tenure include revitalizing the Federal Integrated Staff Housing Program, FISH, with civil servants receiving keys to homes. She actively participated in the tripartite and technical committees on national minimum wage, implementation, and consequential adjustments. She was also actively involved in the development and implementation of federal policies, including the Civil Service Exit Management Program, encompassing pre-retirement training, off-boarding, and post-retirement service schemes, framework and public service emergency management, civil service welfare policy, establishment of a centralized counseling center, baseline survey of persons with disabilities, and framework for the implementation of the OSH policy and ECA 2010. Mrs. Didi Esther Walson-Jack subsequently served as Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Niger Delta Affairs and later in the Ministry of Power, where she discharged her responsibilities as Chief Policy Advisor by ensuring the effective implementation of approved policies and priorities while responding proactively to emerging challenges. She laid a foundation for the restructuring of the Federal Ministry of Power and provided effective oversight of its agencies. She was thereafter posted to the Federal Ministry of Water Resources and Sanitation and subsequently redeployed to the Federal Ministry of Education. Mrs. Walson-Jack continued to make significant impact and recorded strategic initiatives aimed at repositioning the Education Ministry until her appointment as the head of the Civil Service of the Federation by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, on 12th August 2024. Didi Walson-Jack is the recipient of the National Honor of the Officer of the Order of the Niger, OON. She is married to Honorable Nimi Walson-Jack. They are blessed with 2 children and a grandson.
A round of applause for the Head of Civil Service of the Federation. Congratulations, ma'am. Congratulations. We doff our hearts for you, for your resilience, for your commitment, for your passion for reforms. We thank you very much indeed. And indeed, your legacy is one of service with impact, reform with purpose, and leadership that speaks not only to the present but to generations yet unborn. You are indeed a trailblazer. Please, another celebration of round of applause for the head of civil service of the Federation as we begin to wind down this event, this very epoch-making event. I'll be inviting the permanent secretary, special duties. Oh, first of all, before we get the vote of thanks, it is pertinent that one of the permanent secretaries will be responding on behalf of his colleagues. I therefore want to invite Mr. Temitope Peter.
Good evening, Head of Civil Service. Good evening, Transformational Permanent Secretary, partners, ladies and gentlemen of the press. Well, on behalf of the permanent secretaries, we want to thank you, Head of Civil Service, for a night like this. It's not easy to drive reform, and as our daddy, the former Head of Service, said, you have stood tall, you picked up the gauntlet, you didn't look back, and you just drove it ahead. And luckily, you drove it home. As they say in the US, you knocked it out of the ballpark. Congratulations, man. I'll take a cue from some of your speech, where you actually said you stand on the work that started by others, and we have built on it. Some of us are lucky to have joined that work earlier. Others have come along the line. But one thing that is certain is that with your leadership, you have been able to merge everybody together and drive everybody through. And by December 31st, you didn't want to hear any negative response. It was positive all the way. And you came up with the plan of the war room. And you brought some of the young talks and put them there, and they also put the effort to remove every stumbling block to ensure that we achieve this. And of course, we remember our partners who you brought on board, who have also made all of this possible. So on behalf of the permanent secretaries, we thank you for this recognition. And thankfully, the organizers remember to also recognize you at the end of it all, because a lot of it, and all our staff, the directors, ICT, and all other staff that make themselves available to work, because it's indeed been a very, hard work. And of course, also the partners, starting with Galaxy Backbone and all the others. We appreciate you all. I will end by admonishing my colleagues that this achievement is not the end. Again, taking a cue from the speech of the head of civil service, there will still be teething problems. There will still be hiccups. So we're not going to give up. We will take up those challenges and just continue to push through. A formidable system is not perfect from the get-go. We will just continue to, improve on it and make it work till that 2 to 3 years time, like Head of Civil Service said, we will look back and be like, wow. What's that? Wow. Unbelievable, wow. Thank you very much.
Can we please put our hands together one more time for Mr. Temitope Peter Fashediami? Thank you so much. Now, at this point, we're going to have to take the vote of thanks. And this vote of thanks is going to be coming from the co-chairman organizing committee for this very laudable event. I'd like to invite the Permanent Secretary Special Duties Office of the Head of Civil Service, Abdul Karim Ibrahim Ozi, to please move the vote of thanks. Please, a round of applause for him.
Thank you, the MC. MC, one thing you fail to recognize is this. I've been part of the organizing committee. The head of the civil service actually screened the list of our awardees, but deliberately, we decided to hide our own. She never knew she would be awarded until at this stage, and I can watch her emotions. It was highly emotional. Thank you, madam. Well, this night, I'm asked to do just one thing, to say thank you all for coming. But I'll do it in another style. I'll start with a quote. Awards are not just accolades. They are echoes of diligence, integrity, and the quiet power of service. Distinguished guests, Secretary to the Government of Federation in absentia, honorable ministers and ministers of state here present, head of the civil service of the Federation, transformative permanent secretaries, head of extra-ministerial department, esteemed colleagues in the Federal Civil Service, award recipients, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the head of the civil service of the Federation, and in my capacity as a permanent secretary, special duties office, I have the honor and privilege to deliver the vote of thanks at the close of this historic paperless civil service gala and award night. I express our profound appreciation to our distinguished guests of honor and all dignitaries who honor us with their presence this evening. Your support and encouragement continue to strengthen our collective resolve to build a modern, efficient, and digitally driven federal civil service. I wish to especially acknowledge the visionary leadership of the head of the civil service of the Federation, whose unwavering commitment to reform and innovation has made tonight's celebration possible. Our sincere gratitude also goes to the Secretary to the Government of Federation, honorable ministers, honorable ministers of states, and all other senior government officials who have consistently championed digital transformation across government. Your policy direction and strategic collaboration remain instrumental to the success of this national reform journey. To the award recipient from ministries, extra ministerial department, teams, and stakeholders tonight, we celebrate your courage to innovate, your discipline to execute, and your dedication to excellence. You have set benchmark worthy of emulation across the service. I also commend the tireless effort of the organizing committee, technical teams, reform champions, and partners, whose behind the scenes work to ensure seamless planning and delivery of the event. Your professionalism and attention to details reflect the very standard we seek to institutionalize across the federal civil service. Finally, to every civil servant who continue to embrace change, adapt to new systems, and uphold the values of professionalism and service, we say thank you. The journey to a fully digital federal civil service is ongoing, and your commitment remains our greatest asset. As we depart, may the spirit of collaboration, innovation, and shared responsibility that define this historic evening continue to guide our work in service to our nation. As we close finally, the memorable evening, let us remember that excellence is not a single act, but a habit. Tonight, we celebrate the best among us, those who embody dedication, integrity, and service. May their achievement inspire us all to reach higher, serve better, and uphold the value that unite us as a family. Thank you for your presence, your contribution, and your commitment to a better future for our Federation. Good night, and God bless you.
Thank you very much. Please, we're going to do a favor. This favor is that the chief convener will be joined by all permanent secretaries on this side of the divide. The chief convener, can I have the pleasure of having you over? And then you'll be joined by the permanent secretaries from the various ministries. Please, let's join her here, please. All permanent secretaries. Dr. Yabo, all the permanent secretaries, no exception. And as she's coming up, I'm going to plead with her to allow the two masters of ceremony, myself and your daughter from your office, to have a photo opportunity with you, ma. be taking like this, or should we move our podium? We should move it. Please come and assist me. Let's move the podium. All right, let's stand like one big transformational family that we all belong to. Congratulations. Can everybody be seen? All right. Hang on one minute, band. Thank you so much. The band here has done exceedingly well, and I think they also deserve a round of applause. Please put your hands together for this band. I'm going to be reading out their names shortly. But before we bring it to a close, can we remain standing as we invite everyone else in the hall to stand with us? We take the pledge, and then the head of civil service will be doing the celebration dance with these very laudable awards. And after the pledge, the organizing committee will come out for their pictures. But aside that, we must do the dance. So get ready for that. The pledge. I pledge to Nigeria, my country, to be faithful, loyal, and honest, to serve Nigeria with all my strength, to defend her unity, and uphold her honor and glory. So help me God. Amen and amen. Please, members of the organizing committee, but band, the chief convener, the head of civil service of the Federation, will have to dance with all permanent secretaries. Organizing committee members, please be on standby for your picture.
Come on! It's still there.
Okay, we'll be dancing on that lower platform. Please, permanent secretary, remain with the madam. Remain with her, dance with her. You have to dance, man. We're going to do that dance on this lower platform. So please help me direct them. Help me direct them.
Everybody,
it's dancing time. Everybody's joining on the dance floor. Bouncing housing, bouncing finance. All of you are invited to the dance floor.
I want you to be mine. They say, Alpha, what do you feel good, man? Come on and join the reggae jam. Yeah, and we be singing. Ooh la la la. Everybody wants sing. Let's go dancing. Ooh la la la. We reggae dancing. Ooh la la la. Come on, let's go dancing. Ooh la la la. Reggae dancing. I wanna get to know you. Come on, let's reggae down. Oh yeah. Give it up, acquainted. 'Cause everything will be fine. Hey baby, what's your name? Is it Mrs. or is it Missy? If you find yourself, I'd like to take you for a ride. Woo! And we can jump and sing and we can reggae down. Come on, and we been singing. Ooh la la la. Let's go dancing. Ooh la la la. We reggae dancing. Ooh la la la. Let's go dancing. Ooh la la la. Reggae dancing. Ooh la la la. Let's go dancing. Ooh la la la. Reggae dancing. Ooh la la la. Let's go dancing. Ooh la la la.
Woke up this morning, we got up here the scent of a woman. Yeah. Just a picture of what life could be.